Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I just wanted to share an experience I had with some ammo that I almost always have, or actually always have, amazing luck with. It's consistent, performs well, it's fairly good precision from factory ammo. It's the IMI 77 grain Razor Core for a 5.56. And I buy it by the case, so it comes in a 500 round case. And I bought several cases back 2021 when things were getting crazy, just so I knew I had stock on hand. And the case that I'm talking about today, I hadn't rotated through. It took me almost 2 years to get to it. And when I started to fire it, I ended up with problems with severe pressure signs, stuck cases, primers blowing out. So I stopped firing it, reached out to the company that sold me the ammo. Unfortunately, it had been so long, they essentially told me to go pound sand. So I kind of sat on it for a while and tried to figure out what I was going to do, and finally got around to tearing it all apart and remanufacturing it. So there's a happy story here if you stay tuned to the end. I'm just going to take a peek at my notes. So started the process with disassembly. I've got what's left of this case of ammo here, and it's just a matter of running through the paces. Pull a bullet, dump the powder, toss the bullet, and repeat. Pretty mind-numbing. I started by disassembling 25 cases just to measure the powder charge that was in these cases. I had a minimum charge of 23.9, max of 24.3, and the mean was 24.1 of some unknown ball powder. I also took all the outside measurements of the cartridge itself, so overall length, base to shoulder, all that stuff, so that I could replicate it. So disassembly went pretty smooth. The only fly in the ointment is these bullets were all sealed with some kind of tar. So cleaning the tar off the bullets themselves was relatively straightforward. I gave them a bath in some 99% isopropyl alcohol in my ultrasonic cleaner, let it run a couple cycles. What was left over wiped right off. The cases were a little bit more difficult, so I had to run them through a whole cycle with my Lyman Case Prep Center. Started with cleaning the inside of the case neck with a brass brush. Then inside, outside chamfer. Then a plastic brush to remove any filings. Once the case prep was all done, I began to reassemble. I decided to go 1 grain under the mean of the powder charge that I had measured. So the original charge had a mean of 24.1, so I went with 23.1. Reassembled everything, used the same cartridge overall length, seating depth, 3/1000ths of a crimp, and took it to the range. So let's head out to the range and check out the results. Okay, so I've got the my repaired ammo loaded, and we're going to see what we get for velocities and accuracy. be covered with ticks by the time I'm done with this. Wind is picking up now. So I was pretty impressed with the results. Let's start with the bottom, the velocity, because that was of most concern based on the fact that the original rounds were so overpressured. We had an average velocity of 2634, which is just about 20 feet per second on average below what the good factory ammo was. SD of 19.5 and a spread of 67. The composite group was just over 2 inches, not bad for a 20 round group. Mean radius was 0.63, that's pretty excellent out of a factory barrel. Standard deviation radius 0.703. Circular error probable 95% hit rate of 1.276 inches. So all in all, given the wind that was picking up towards the end of this string, very, very happy with the way this load came out. And I'm just going to throw this up here because I know there's people out there that would say, hey, look, the third group of the string was sub MOA. I just don't care. I do not believe in flyers. There's a reason you shoot larger groups so that at the end of the day, I know my rifle is going to hit within roughly a 2-inch circle. So, end of rant, on to more testing. So those groups looked pretty good. I wasn't going to, but I'm going to go ahead and do a 20 round group with the factory ammo, just to, I guess, do a fair comparison, see what happens. Yep, the lab radar is giving up again. So we're just gonna run with it. And there it is. So overall, not horrible. Slightly larger than the group of the repaired ammo, but I'll also give up some leeway because the barrel was getting pretty hot by that point. Unlike my AR-10, which seems to tighten up when the barrel gets hotter, this one definitely doesn't. So by the end of this last string, I had pumped 50 rounds through that barrel in an hour and a half, maybe. So, and it was a hot day. The big thing, unfortunately, the lab radar did not record velocities, but previous measurements I've recorded roughly 2650 to 2670, so 20 to 40 feet per second from what I got from my quote-unquote repaired ammo. So all in all, I was happy with the results. I got as good, if not better, accuracy out of this quote-unquote repaired ammo. The velocities were relatively close. The standard deviation and spread were not quite what I'd like to see. I may go back and try playing with the charge weights. If I find any difference, I'll pin a comment down below. I don't think I'll bother doing a whole separate video on that unless there's demand for it. So anyway, thanks for sitting through the whole video. Appreciate you guys. Look forward to seeing you in the next one.